dear listeners. Welcome back to another episode of Quietly Influential Life Lessons for Introverts. I'm your host, Gwyn White, and today we're diving into a topic that's both intricate and transformative, the power of thought in shaping our reality. This episode is particularly tailored for those introverted leaders, managers, and executives who often find themselves entangled in the complexities of their own thoughts and beliefs. We'll explore the neuroscience and psychology behind this, and I'll offer some actionable strategies that you can implement right away. So, grab your favorite cup of tea or coffee, find a quiet space, and let's embark on this intellectual journey together. You've probably heard the phrase, thoughts become things. It's a concept that's been around for a while, but often it's presented in a way that doesn't resonate with some introverts, especially those who tend to be more analytical or introspective. So today, we're going to dissect this idea in a manner that's grounded in neuroscience and behavioral psychology. We'll look at how our thoughts, both conscious and subconscious, have the power to shape our external world. I'll also share some scientific studies, which you can find in the show notes, that validate this concept, offering you a nuanced understanding that goes beyond the superficial or more woo interpretations. For introverted leaders, this is crucial because it allows you to leverage your natural propensity for deep thinking in a way that can manifest real, tangible results in your life. First up, let's touch on the paradox of transformation. Introverted leaders, I am speaking directly to you here. I know you're no strangers to the desire for transformation, whether it's in your professional life, your personal relationships, or your inner world. But here's the paradox. The more we try to figure things out, the more we find ourselves stuck in a loop of overthinking and indecision. The key is not to strategize every step, but to align your actions with a state of flow, a state of natural, effortless creation. In my coaching programs, I delve into the psychology of flow and how you can achieve it, even in high-stakes environments like the corporate world. In fact, there are some awesome case studies of introverted leaders who have successfully harnessed the power of flow to bring about significant transformations in their organizations. For example, let's take Susan Cain, known for her book, Quiet the Power of Introverts in a World That Can't Stop Talking, has been a transformative leader in reshaping how we view introversion. She founded the Quiet Revolution, a mission-based company that offers services to businesses to unlock the power of introverts. Her leadership style emphasizes the power of flow and focused work, allowing for significant transformations in organizational culture. Additionally, I'll mention Satya Nadella, the CEO of Microsoft, who identifies as an introvert and has been instrumental in changing the culture at Microsoft from a know-it-all culture to a learn-it-all culture. His leadership has been characterized by periods of deep focus and flow, which has been credited for the company's renewed innovation and growth. I'd like to shift and talk briefly about the internal mechanism of reality shaping, and so let's delve into the psychology behind how our thoughts shape our reality. This is based on what one of my mentors, David Bayer, likes to call the 5 primary drivers. They are beliefs, thoughts, emotions, actions, and results. For introverted leaders, understanding this mechanism is crucial. Your deeply ingrained beliefs, often formed in childhood, can either be your greatest asset or your most significant barrier. These beliefs influence your thoughts, which then dictate your emotions and actions, ultimately shaping the reality you experience. Later, we'll look at some practical exercises and techniques that you can use to identify and modify these core beliefs, thereby setting the stage for a more aligned and fulfilling life. Since we're looking at the internal mechanism, let's also explore the external mechanism. This is where things get a bit metaphysical, but stay with me. Our thoughts emit vibrations that interact with the universe, influencing our external circumstances. This is not about magical thinking. It's about understanding that our reality is more malleable than we often believe. As introverted leaders, this understanding can empower you to manifest changes in your professional and personal life. When you coach with me, we actually delve into the science behind this, exploring concepts like quantum physics, epigenetics, and the law of attraction, and how they relate to the idea that our thoughts can shape our external world. So that brings us to an equation that you can apply in your life. The equation is simple yet profound. Desire plus the absence of resistance equals your desired outcome. For introverted leaders, this equation is a game changer. It's not about forcing outcomes through sheer willpower. It's about aligning your desires with your actions and letting go of internal resistances, those limiting beliefs and emotional barriers that hold you back. In a bit, we'll explore some practical steps you can take to recognize and eliminate any forms of resistance that may be blocking your path. Here are a couple of real-life examples of introverted leaders who have successfully applied this equation to achieve remarkable results in their lives, people you are very familiar with. One of the most successful investors of all time, Warren Buffett, is a self-proclaimed introvert. He spends most of his day reading and thinking, which is a form of non-resistance that allows him to focus on his true desires. His investment strategies have always been aligned with his introverted nature, allowing him to make thoughtful and highly successful investment choices. As well, the author of the Harry Potter series, J.K. Rowling, identifies as an introvert. She transformed her life by focusing on her desire to tell a compelling story and removing all resistance by isolating herself to write, even in the face of numerous rejections from publishers. Her alignment with her desire and removal of resistance led to one of the most successful book series and film franchises of all time. Now let's turn our attention back to resistance, since it is such a key component of that simple yet profound life equation we touched on before. As an introverted leader, you're no stranger to the internal resistances that can manifest as limiting beliefs, resentments, and self-doubt. These resistances can be particularly debilitating, affecting your decision-making, team management, and even your self-perception. The first step in overcoming these barriers is awareness. Once you're aware, you can actively work on replacing these limiting beliefs with empowering thoughts. Once again, I will defer to David Bayer, who talks about the 4 types of resistance. So let's now break down those 4 specific types of resistance that often plague us as introverted leaders. First is our limiting beliefs. These are the thoughts that tell you, I can't do this, or I'm not good enough for that role. For introverted leaders, these beliefs often revolve around social interactions and assertiveness. Next are resentments. These are the emotional grudges or negative feelings you might hold against colleagues, family, or even yourself. They can cloud your judgment and decision-making abilities. Then there is what is called the core program. This is your default setting, the ingrained patterns and beliefs that dictate your reactions to life's challenges. For introverts, this might include a tendency to avoid conflict or to internalize stress. And finally, the belief of not being good enough. This is the pervasive, often subconscious belief that you're not worthy of success, happiness, or love. This can be especially damaging for introverted leaders who may already feel out of place in extrovert-dominated environments. Earlier, I promised to share some strategies for overcoming resistance, so now let's delve into some actionable things that you can implement immediately to start overcoming these resistances. First, cognitive restructuring. This involves identifying a limiting belief and actively replacing it with an empowering thought. For example, replace, I'm not good at public speaking because I'm an introvert, with, I can be an effective public speaker by leveraging my introverted qualities like deep thinking and empathy. Next is a forgiveness exercise. Simply write down the names of people you hold resentments against and what they did. Then consciously work on forgiving them. This doesn't mean you have to forget or reconcile. It's about freeing yourself from the emotional burden. Another great strategy for those who tend to be more analytical and self-reflective is a SWOT analysis. So you will conduct a SWOT, which stands for Strengths, Weaknesses, Opportunities, and Threats analysis on your core program. Identify the strengths that you can leverage and the weaknesses you can improve upon, as well as the opportunities and threats that your core program presents. This will give you a much clearer understanding of yourself, building your self-awareness, and enabling you to operate more effectively and with greater self-empathy. Then there are affirmations and visualization, which works especially well for that belief about not being good enough. What you will do is to create a set of positive affirmations that directly counter your belief of not being good enough. Combine this with visualization techniques where you see yourself succeeding in your role as a leader. One of my personal favorite strategies is mindfulness and meditation. These practices can help you become so much more aware of your thoughts and feelings, making it easier to identify and address your internal resistances. Even just 5-10 10 minutes a day can make a significant difference. You can consult a coach or therapist because sometimes the resistances are too deeply ingrained to tackle alone. In such cases, consulting a professional can provide you with the support and the tools to overcome them. And finally, there are accountability partners. Sharing your journey of overcoming resistance with a trusted colleague or friend can provide you with an external perspective and, importantly, hold you accountable for your actions. By understanding and addressing each of these resistances, you can work towards dropping these internal barriers. This will not only enhance your effectiveness as an introverted leader, but also improve your overall well-being. Remember, the journey to leadership excellence is not just about external achievements. It's equally about internal growth and transformation. In conclusion, this journey of personal growth is not just about achieving goals. It's about understanding and navigating the complexities of our internal and external worlds. For introverted leaders, this understanding is the key to unlocking a life of abundance, clarity, and fulfillment. We've covered a lot of ground today, from the science behind how thoughts shape reality to practical strategies for transformation. Remember, you have the power to shape your reality, and it starts with your thoughts. I'll leave you with some recommended readings and resources that can help you delve deeper into the topics we've discussed today. Thank you for joining me in this deeply introspective episode. If you found value in today's discussion, please share it with others who might benefit and subscribe so that you catch all future releases. I'd also love to hear your thoughts and experiences, so feel free to reach out. Until next time, keep influencing quietly but powerfully. Finally, I would love to invite you to a masterclass that's happening in November. I attended this event back in January, and it, quite literally, changed my life. My relationships improved, my performance and productivity skyrocketed, and I experienced an up-level in my well-being. It allowed me to finally unlock my coaching genius and to become the leader and coach that I always wanted to be. Now, I paid $97 to attend this training. However, for you, I will get you in for only $37. So if you are interested in learning more, check out the link in the show notes. And that's a wrap for today's episode. I hope this conversation serves you well, especially those introverted leaders out there who are striving to make a meaningful impact in their spheres. Thank you for listening. Keep thriving and keep coming back.